Hello dear students, I am Samir Velankar and I welcome all of you to this another video where we will see one more example where a table is given and it is decomposed into smaller tables and we want to know whether it is FD preserving and lossless. Now watch, the table has four attributes A, B, C, D. Just a minute. Okay, that's better. The table has four attributes A, B, C, D and there are two FDs defined on this table. AB determines CD and D determines A. Now this table is broken down into R1 and R2. So R ABCD is broken down into R1 AD and R2 BCD. Okay. These are the two tables. Now you just check there is a common attribute D in both tables. This is first condition for lossless. And that common attribute has to be a candidate key in one of the tables. So let's find D closure using our original dependency set, original dependency. Now from the original dependency, we get D closure will contain D and D determines A will bring in A. Now that is enough for R1. You note that D closure has ability to determine all the attributes A and D. So D is definitely candidate key in R1. That is enough. Now you don't have to check whether D is candidate key in R2 because the common attribute has to be a candidate key in one of the tables. So this decomposition is lossless. Now what about FD preserving? Now what we do for FD preserving you have seen in earlier two videos. Let us write the two tables again. R1 has AD and R2 has BCD. Now let us list what are the dependencies first of all that are possible. I'm not saying that are satisfied. What are possible is non-trivial dependencies possible are A determines D and D determines A. And what are the dependencies possible for R2? Now notice it can be B determines C, B determines D. So we have used only one attribute on the left hand side. Similarly, C determines B, C determines D, and we are not writing C determines C. It is trivial, isn't it? Then we have D determines B and D determines C. This is using only one attribute. Now what about two attributes? And note that we should not have a subset on the right hand side. Then it will be a trivial dependency. So what about the remaining dependencies? Just check this. If we have two attributes on the left, we can have BC determines D, correct? Or we can have CD determines B, correct? Or we can have BD determines C, BD determines C. And we can have two attributes on the right hand side also, correct or not? I hope you are understanding. So out of B, C, D, the three attributes, we can have two attributes on the right hand side and one on the left. So we can have the dependency B determines CD or C determines BD, or we can have D determines BC, correct or not? Now enough is enough. Now we can't have three attributes either on left or right. We had one attribute on left and right. We had two attributes on left, but one attribute on right. We had one attribute on left and two attributes on right. But now we can't write something like BCD determines B. Hello, this is trivial because if BCD determines B, then B already determines B, isn't it? This is trivial. So these are the dependencies possible on the second table. But not most of them will be will be cancelled because they are not satisfied. But these are possible. We are checking with all possibilities, isn't it? Now let's go to R1 table. Is A determines B satisfied? Let's see. Is this true? So what you do is you find A closure on the original set. Let's find A closure, B closure, C closure, and D closure. That's better, isn't it? On the original set. Let's see. Now A closure is going to contain A, and that's it. Because you see, AB determines CD, but only A doesn't determine anything. And here we can't bring in anything because A is not on the left hand side. B closure is going to contain only B again. Check it on your own. C closure is going to contain only C, whereas D closure will contain D and A. Check this. So, is A determining D? No, because A closure does not contain D. You observe using our original FD set, it does not contain D. But is D determining D? Yes, because D closure contains A. I hope you are understanding. So out of the two non-trivial dependencies, only D determines A is satisfied. Now let's see whether B determines C is satisfied by R2. No, because B closure, observe this, B closure using our original FD set does not contain C. Similarly, B determines D is ruled out because B closure does not contain D. Now C determines B. Observe is also ruled out. C closure does not contain B, so C does not have ability to determine B. C determines D is ruled out. C closure does not contain D. D determines B is also ruled out. You watch. D determines B is ruled out because D does not contain attribute B. D determines C. Is it? Is it? No. D closure doesn't contain C. Now, is BC determining D? Here is the twist. Now you see, for checking whether BC determines D, what you have to do, you have to find BC closure using our original FD set. Up till now, we were working on single attribute key, isn't it? On the left hand side, but now we have two attributes on the left hand side, BC. So you will have to find BC closure. BC closure will contain B and C. And note, from the original FD set, now BC, neither single B nor C nor BC in combination is on the left hand side of any of the dependencies. So BC closure is going to contain simply BC. That means BC alone cannot determine D. I hope you are understanding. This is ruled out. Now, how will you check whether CD determines D? What you have to do is you have to find out CD closure, isn't it? Using our original FD set. CD closure will contain CD, and check that using our dependencies here, CD, out of CD, D determines A, isn't it? So CD closure is going to contain A, and check on your own, there will be no more things added at all, isn't it? So CD closure contains CDA, but that means CD closure does not contain B. Are you understanding? That means CD determines B is not satisfied. How will you check BD determines C? You check BD closure. Using our original FD set, you will have B and D here. And because B and D are present, D determines A. You see, out of B and D, D determines A. So A will be brought in. A will be brought in. Correct? That's it. No more things will be brought in now. Now you see, BD closure contains B and A, isn't it? B and A. So using our original FD set, AB is on the left hand side. It will bring in CD. So what that means is C also will be the part of this closure. Oh, good Lord. That means BD has ability to determine C. So this dependency, which I am again ticking here, is satisfied. Okay. Okay. Is B determining CD? This is easy. This is easy to check. Is B determining CD? Left hand side is B. So find B closure. And note B closure here. Note B closure is not containing CD. So not satisfied. This dependency C determines BD, not satisfied because C closure, the left hand side is C. C closure is simply containing C, it doesn't contain BD, so not satisfied. Similarly, you check D closure, left hand side is D, so D closure is not containing BC. It contains DA, isn't it? So not satisfied. So out of all the dependencies, only one dependency is satisfied. What is that? BD determines C. I'll again mark it. BD determines C. BD determines C is satisfied by this second table. And what about the first table? Only D determines A. Only this second dependency, D determines A, is satisfied. So I'll just clean out a few things. Okay, D determines A is satisfied. Now let's call this set as F1 and this set as F2 and take union of these two. So we will have D determines A in the union and BD determines C in the union. Now can this together, F1 union F2, can this together determine all the original dependencies? You watch in the original table, just check the original table, the dependency is given where D determines A, the second one, and it is very much available over here. Isn't it so? But what about AB determines CD? This was the dependency in the original table. Is it derived by F1 union F2? Although it is not directly available, it may be there. Which dependency we want to check? AB determines CD, isn't it? AB determines CD. Check whether this is satisfied. Then you find AB closure using F1 union F2. Because we want to know whether AB determines CD is satisfied by these dependencies, isn't it? So AB closure is going to contain AB and nothing else. You see, nothing else will be brought in from here. So AB does not determine CD. That means this first dependency given in our original table is not satisfied, but the second dependency is satisfied. What that means is this decomposition is lossless. We saw that common attribute is there and it is candidate key of R1. D is the candidate key of R1, but this decomposition is not FD preserving. Now, I would like to remind all of you that decomposition must be lossless. Decomposition must be lossless. But if decomposition is not FD preserving, we accept it. It's okay. If FDs are not preserved, it is not that serious. We are not going to face problems later on. But if the decomposition is lossy, then it is not acceptable. I hope you have understood this exercise also. Thank you very much.